Just over a year ago, I shared my honest review of the Castlery sofa. I always have a hard time saying that word, Castlery sofa. I had seen ads all over the internet. I knew I loved the aesthetic, I loved the way it looked, but I was skeptical of the quality because every single ad I saw from a creator or an influencer was sponsored or gifted to some extent. So when we took the risk, bought it, I wanted to share my honest thoughts and opinions as somebody who is not sponsored, bought it with my own money, has never spoken directly with the company for any partnership opportunities at all. Hopefully help you guys with your research and looking for the perfect sofa for your home. I got a lot of comments in my first video asking how it's held up over time. So I figured it's been about a year. Let me show you guys.
From the outside looking in, the sofa basically looks as good as new. We have the Jonathan Modular Sectional, and it's a very light color, so I was a little bit worried about cleaning. We do eat on our couch quite a bit, but because it's a very light heathered look, I think heathered fabric or heathered whatever, I don't know what that's called, but because it doesn't show dirt as much as I thought it could or would. It does need to be vacuumed occasionally, just like any other fabric sofa would need to be vacuumed. Somehow we always get chocolate on it, which we normally scrub off, but this one is one that I just noticed and I will have to take a sponge too and rub off. There's also like another little spot here of something that we ate. I don't know what that was or what fell. I think I tried to scrub it off with a sponge and it didn't quite work. Other than that, it's pretty much good as new.
One of the things that I really liked about this sofa and that I really wanted to hold up was like the stiffness or the way that it keeps its structure. I don't like couches that get floppy over time, which is something I saw across the board. So many different styles, companies, everything. And I did not want ours to get floppy. And I think this one's held up really well in that respect.
You do see a little bit right here, the waves on the fabric, and a little bit right there. That's probably where we sit the most. So I think that's why you see that right there more than anywhere else. But otherwise, I will say there is no sagging. It's not getting floppy at all. It's working out really well. The last thing that we have noticed is a little bit of pilling, which of course you can't see that much in the camera, but like any fabric sofa, there will be some pilling. It's really not dramatic. It's not that bad at all. A little bit worse where we sit all the time. You'll notice down here. And then the worst of the worst in the most high traffic area, which is right here.
Overall, like the pilling, the marks from things that we spilled, I think those are all pretty normal. I also didn't pre-treat these sofas a year ago, even though I knew I should have, I didn't do it. So I'm gonna take care of the pilling now in those high traffic areas with this. And then I've never tried this before, but it's like the fabric shavers from Conair, and I'll link it in the description box below. And then I'm gonna go through and treat the sofas. Yes, 1 year later, we're expecting a little bit of a baby in a few months. And I think this couch is gonna get sat on quite a bit more while we are recovering postpartum. So I just wanna make sure that it is pre-treated before I go into that season of my life where life is chaotic. Setup for this was really, really easy. You just pop 2 AA batteries in and then flip it on and you shave.
So I would call like this before and this after, which looks pretty good. Overall, I don't know that you can see the big change in the camera. Actually, I feel like maybe you can, but the shaver definitely works. That went by pretty quickly just because
I really focused on the high traffic areas more than anything else. So the rest of the sofa didn't really have a ton of pilling. It's really just the high traffic areas that you sit on the most. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm gonna treat it because we have to treat it eventually. We're really just pushing our luck. In my first video with my initial thoughts on the sofa, I shared that I liked everything about it. There was not one thing I didn't like about it. Definitely thought it was worth it. Except for that, you spend so much money on a sofa and you take the risk because you cannot return it. And they tell you that they're very clear about their return policy. You can't return it. It's a massive sofa. And they give you, like, they're constantly updating you about your last available date to cancel your order. So you have to make sure that you do your due diligence to make sure it's gonna fit in your home. It's what you want. Like, you definitely need to make sure of all those things. But that's fine, that's fair. It's a couch. It's a large piece of furniture. So I appreciated their transparency on that. The one thing that I didn't like was it being a sofa. You're spending a ton of money on it. And I feel like you should have white glove delivery. Like, they should come, take the sofa up to the room that it's gonna be put in, and they should take it out of the boxes and put it together. The boxes were massive. They were so heavy. That's all in the first video. I just feel like we need to be better about service when we're paying for a high price item. I understand that they're just trying to make it as well, but that is my biggest qualm. Quality-wise, how it's held up over the past year, all fair game. They've done a great job. Should you put it together for me? Yes. I think you should. This is the fabric protectant that I'm using. I've seen this everywhere on the internet. It's pretty straightforward. Comes with a little gun. Put your batteries in and then you just spray the whole surface. And we are just gonna saturate it kind of all the way through. They say the thicker the fabric, the more that you want to saturate it. And then you let it sit for 24 hours and it should be treated after that.
All right, these are completely saturated now, and now we just wait 24 hours.
There's no question that I've been procrastinating on treating the sofas, and then eventually, because I procrastinated so long on treating them, on shaving them and then treating them. But that's just out of fear. Like, I'm afraid to put something on the couch. Finally conquered that fear. And I thought it would be a lot more complicated than it was, but it's actually really, really easy. Definitely scared that like treating them, spraying something on them, like something bad is gonna happen. But that's all for today. I hope that was the update that everybody was kind of looking for. How do they hold up a year later? I think they hold up really, really well. Any fabric sofa is gonna pill. They do have a leather option, so you could always go with that. Otherwise, what was most important to me was that they actually held their shape and they stayed really stiff and structured, because I think that's the allure of this style couch, is the structure. I'm gonna link the fabric protector and the shaver in the description box below. And I can link the couch too, but I feel like if you're watching this video, it's because you already know which one you want. Get the one you want. I definitely think it's worth it, a great quality couch. We're not planning on getting a new one for a good 10 years. My husband might say forever. Good morning. I'm popping in the next day. Just want to show you guys how the couch dried. I think it dried really, really well. I think it looks like there was never spray on it. So if you've been debating that spray or not wanting to ruin your sofa, I would say go for it. However, I will not personally be spilling anything on it to test it, because I don't push my luck like that. I will spill something on it probably on accident at some point and test it that way. But I will definitely not be spilling anything on it on purpose. But it dried nicely, so don't be afraid. Anything else you want me to review? Just let me know.